Hello, everybody, and I am back here in the Phantom Zone. It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money taking. The man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain here in YouTube entertainment today, Mr. General Zod, and welcome. Tonight, tonight is going to be a great, zany, wacky night of entertainment news, because, you know, I work through the week and stuff happens. So welcome, Lemon Pie. Good to have you here in the chat. Um, it's been a long week, and I haven't had a chance to cover as much stuff as I would want to, because work. But anyways, I got some great stories tomorrow at 10. I will be doing a special news segment with the old man talking about a couple of things, some stuff that's a little bit more serious. It's going to be a very interesting night. But tonight, I've got some great articles, some things about reboots, some ridiculous headlines, and other fun and wacky stuff. So it should be a very interesting chat about some things coming up. So, anyways, let me just get started. First thing at the top of the hour that I have. So, if you guys remember, if you guys come from the 90s as I did, the 90s had a lot of great shows, had a lot of good television, and some of the great stuff that was on TV was definitely some stuff that what up, Cyber?
Not much.
Good to see you here, Cyber. PB is running a bit late, but we got some great stuff to talk about. I was gonna kick it back into the 90s before you got on here. But yeah, so I was pulling up articles, and Cyber, have you ever seen The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Kindish. I know
Okay,
it's a
you,
sitcom. I know it's a sitcom.
it's a
And I know a
sitcom,
few
right?
cast members are dead.
Oh, oh God.
Uh,
Okay. Well,
Uncle
I mean,
Phil's dead, man. He died a
oh,
few years ago.
oh no, this wasn't about Uncle Phil dying, but it might have to be. Ah, you've ruined my night, Cyber. How did I not know that happened?
It was like a couple of years ago now.
Well, my life has been in a time loop. No. So getting back to the point, right? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was what, a sitcom, right? Sitcom. But the interesting part about sitcoms in the 90s was that sitcoms also had some some how do I put it? They had some moments where they dealt with serious stuff, right? And even though some episodes were comedy, there was a little bit of drama in there, right? It was mostly the comedy overshadowed the drama at times. It was more a funny romp. Well, they're bringing back Fresh Prince, and if you guys don't know, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air made Will Smith pretty famous. So he kind of broke out from there, got into movies, and the rest is history. And now he's in any and everything. So, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a big part of my childhood. It was the first time I had ever seen Will Smith, and it was great times. But now, as they do, Cyber, because we heard about it with Saved by the Bell and everything else, they've decided they are going to reboot the Fresh Prince,
No.
and not just reboot it, but it's not going to be a comedy anymore.
Boo.
Yeah, they're going to reboot it as a drama. And I want to read this article because as I'm reading it, Cyber, I'm sure because we talk about it a lot here on the channel, you're going to hear some things where you know exactly where this show is heading and what they're going to talk about. So I'm going to read this show, and, Cyber, if there's anyone in the back, you can let me know or anything like that. But so this comes to us from The Loop. And it says The Fresh Prince is being rebooted as a drama. Now, this is a story about the Fresh Prince reimagined for 2020. I can't wait to see how 2020 reimagines the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. If you guys don't know, it was mainly a black cast, but I really liked the way they played the race thing because race did come up. Okay, it's been a thing since the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, whatever. So there were always some of those episodes, but they never focused on making one side wrong or the other. It was very balanced. I learned a lot of life lessons, and I have a feeling in 2020 we can't do anything like that. But anyways, as far as the beloved and timeless TV series go, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is a classic that exists in pretty untouchable territory. Untouchable, that is, unless someone decides to make it into a modernized TV drama, which, fortunately for fans, or unfortunately, I ad libbed that. Writer director Morgan Cooper did, and Will Smith and the entire world, it seems, quickly took notice and got on board to make it a reality. Deadline reports that Fresh Prince is making a return in the form of an hour-long drama series based on Morgan Cooper's popular fan film, which quickly went viral on YouTube, that reimagined the classic sitcom as a drama. The project will revolve around Will, a street smart kid from Philly who gets caught on the wrong path and lands himself at his uncle's upper class Bel Air abode to get on the straight and narrow, so to speak. Although we have no doubt the series will pay tribute to the original series' lighter moments and some serious swagger, Cooper's adaptation clearly doesn't shy away from tough subject matters and emotional storylines, providing a glimpse into what it's like to be a black man in America today. The project will be brought to life by Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, whose acting career was first launched on the show in the early 90s under the Westbrook Studios production company and Universal Television. Cooper, the self-proclaimed Fresh Prince superfan and writer-director, released a 4-minute Bel-Air trailer, will be directed and co-executive produced the series. Deadline also notes that Chris Collins, the man behind The Wire and The Sons of Anarchy, will co-write and executive produce and act as a showrunner for the project. And in true reboot fashion, the original series producers are set to return as executive producers as well, including Smith, Quincy Jones, Benny Medina, and Andy and Susan Boretz. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the reimagined Bel Air series has been in the works for more than a year after the viral trailer caught Will Smith's attention. Smith even appeared in a later video with Cooper telling the filmmaker that the idea is brilliant, and it would seem the streaming services agree and are battling for the rights to reboot with interest from Peacock.
This is going to ruin the original.
Say again?
This is going to ruin the original.
Oh yeah. Including him.
Especially if Will Smith isn't even starring in it.
Yeah, so
now, if they said, oh, not a reboot, but 20 years later or 30 something years later, what are they up to now,
Yeah,
and that'd be interesting. Then people would be into that, but they're gonna go complete reboot and nobody will be interested.
Now, here's the thing. It sounds like they're rebooting this series to be like Netflix or HBO or one of them. They're battling for the rights right now. Streaming services were going to get involved because, let's face it, television is dying out. And pretty much if you want a show like this to even get an audience, it's going to have to be on a streaming service. Now, here's the interesting thing from the sounds of it. They got Will Smith's endorsement, but I mean, Cyber, I agree with your idea. I think that this would be served better if you had an older cast of Fresh Prince. You couldn't get all of the people, but you could get most of the people who were
Yeah.
younger and do it
And
like he's grown up, has his own family, that kind of a
this
thing.
is why I also bring up, the actor who played Uncle Phil. He has passed, but that's something I think we would like to see how the cast would acknowledge it.
That'd be a storyline. That could be a good storyline. Uncle Phil passes. You could see how Will deals with it. I think that would be a great idea. There's so much you can do where you don't have to completely reboot the entire show and change the feel and the vibe of what it was. Now, it's interesting that the original cast will be, I guess, help him write it, produce it, whatever it is. Before we continue, what up, Thomas? What up, Timon? What up, Stone Cold? Uh, Timon says, "Make the fresh king of Bel-Air." Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know. See, here's my thing. I do have some hope because the original person who wrote it is writing the story, but it's a new director too. And this is where you get into sketchy territory when you have new producers and writers and new visions. He's a fan of the show, clearly. I've seen the trailer for it, and it seems it has that vibe, like, Jazzy is in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Or the,
I'll say this. Everyone remember when a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender made a movie, a live action movie of it?
that's
What if you
apples and
don't? You're
oranges,
trying to
though.
forget about it. I'm still trying to forget about it.
That's a little bit different.
No, I'm saying no. Saying I get skeptical when it's like, hey, it's a big fan, especially when they claim the directors working on the Star Wars trilogy were fans of it.
Yeah, you have a fair point there, but at the same time, too, you also have Will Smith helming it as well, who knows the character very well. So he's
He
going
should
to
be
have
playing the
producing
character.
credits. Timon says this will be like the OC with black people. It very well could be. I mean, I've seen the trailer, and I gotta say, there's some things in it that reminded me of the original. There's some times where I see that humor, and then there's other times where it's leaning heavy on like romance, the normal shit that these
Why,
shows
why,
get with
wait,
their
wait, wait,
drama.
why the hell would you care about romance on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
He
I
was
know I
with
didn't watch
girls, but
much. I know you don't care much about that, but isn't he supposed to be like a baller?
that's my point. Yeah,
Yeah, that
exactly.
doesn't work in a drama situation at all. That's
So
like if we made How I Met Your Mother, uh, a drama, and then you try to make all romantic shit with Barney. No, Barney is a fucking player. It just doesn't fucking work with stuff like that.
that's actually a great analogy, and I 100% agree with you. And this is what I mean. When you change the character, because when you switch from a sitcom to a drama, naturally you've got to change the way certain characters are to fit your story, right? It's a retelling. So they're not going to keep every single quality in order to fit the story that they're in. And that creates a problem because you inherently have to trade off some character traits, and that changes what people remember. And this is an iconic show. Like,
For drama,
this is a big show. Everyone knows, at least knows what the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is.
for a drama, I've never seen a baller or a player work unless they're making that person look like that's like the bad side of them and they're demon. They're just like, oh, every time you see it, it's like, oh, not like, ha ha ha, nice, which is what it is in comedies.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be interesting. I will say it intrigues me a lot more than the Safe by the Bell premise did. So I agree, Timon. Without Will Smith and comedy, it will fail. And I agree. I think that it's going to be one of those things that might hook people because they're curious, but if they don't stick to the story and they get too dramatic or if it's too heavy, people aren't going to gravitate to it. That's not how they remember the show.
If the
And
theme song changes, turn it off right away. That's it.
yeah,
They
yeah,
try to do it to fit with the drama, turn it off. That's it. That's all. That's as far as you get.
I know. I heard the theme song and it's the same, but it's they slowed down the beat
No,
and things like that.
no.
I don't like it.
It's already done.
Yeah, yeah, you can lose people off of stuff that simple. So it's going to be interesting to see, one, which network picks this up, and two, how many people are going to like and or hate this show. And Chad, I'll let you think about it because a Fresh Prince
The
reboot.
music,
Did anybody ask for this?
the music, such as like theme music or music that you've had score for the movie, really sells it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
why. That's the. And speaking of that, that was the best part of the sequel trilogy because John Williams. I've never heard him. Never. Yeah, I don't know if that guy made anything bad.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, one thing we can all
It's a
agree
lot of
on,
things.
the score
It's a
was
lot of
good.
things. Yeah.
If there's one thing I can praise those movies consistently for is the music. But yeah,
Yeah. Your music and your soundtrack can really sell your movie or
Lemon
show
Pie
or
has a good
whatever you're
point.
doing.
Lemon Pie brought up a good point. He said, "I never thought the show was that great," and that's the other flip side to it. There may be those people who didn't like the original,
But
and this
if
might.
it's trying to appeal to the original fan base, this is not going to work.
You might grab people though who didn't necessarily like the original and are more intrigued by the drama aspect rather than it being a comedy, or they never really got into it. I mean, this is the most interesting reboot, which is why I want to talk about it, because it could work depending on how they approach it, what they talk about, if they keep modern day politics out of it.
And now, if you want an original drama movie, show, you just watch This Is Us, which is pretty original, and it's not a reboot of something.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
that's
how
true.
this is how I'm
I watched that show.
advertising it. Yeah, I'm advertising that show, and they're not even fucking paying me.
Yeah, so
Get
go
on
check
that,
out
NBC. I mean, XKD.
Give us some ad revenue.
Yeah.
But anyways, are you ready to hear the most ridiculous story that I pulled for tonight? This is super ridiculous.
I haven't even looked at it. Let me try to figure out what it is here.
I don't have them.
Is it this Lovecraft one coming up?
No, I didn't put the articles in our thing tonight.
No,
I've been
I'm
really.
reading I'm reading the description. This
Oh,
Lovecraft one.
no, I'll get to that.
Okay, because that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, we'll get to H.P. Lovecraft. I got a lot to say about that because he's one of my favorite writers, and this show is so disgusting. Yeah, when I get into that, I'm sure I'll spark a debate about that. But no, I want to talk about something ridiculous. And when you hear the title of this article, keep in mind, people, the Los Angeles Times wrote this article. So clearly during Corona, there is nothing going on. So this was August.
There's nothing
10th.
going on in that state.
Yes.
There's a lot of people trying to get the fuck out of there right now.
So this is in their lifestyle section, and they put, want more diversity in camping. Start with gear.
Start with masturbation.
So they're talking
You're out in the woods, no one will see you.
They're talking about the being diverse while you're camping. And I thought this was interesting because why the fuck are people camping during a pandemic? But we're going to hear about how
Wait,
to
you're not camping during this
diversify.
shit? I
Oh,
mean, if
there's
you
some
live
funny
out in
comments.
nowhere, it's fine.
There's some pretty funny comments in here too. So in May, Mo Jackson was camping with a friend. They woke at 5 to start a fire, make breakfast in the midst of the pandemic. Uh, experience the peace that comes with early morning secluded spot. The beauty of the morning moved Jackson to tears. Wow. I had the most clarifying moment. I just thought, I wish everyone could feel this. Jackson realized that although they could not help anyone feel more connected to nature, they could get a few more people outside by offering free camping gear. That
What?
day, yes, I'm reading this because this is so ridiculous. You are
Okay, you come up
offering
to me,
people.
you give me your free camping gear. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do with it. I will take it. I'll take it, and then I'm
I
gonna
mean,
go
I'll take
sell
it.
it and make
Free
money
camping
off of
gear.
it because
I mean,
camping
I'm
gear
never
is
gonna go
fucking
camping,
expensive.
but
If you don't know, camping gear is expensive. If you have like an REI near you or some like outdoor shop, go there, look at the prices of all the camping gear, and then walk out and tell me because if someone's giving you all that shit for free, there's $200 chairs out there. There's someone's giving you out something all that shit for fucking free. You're taking it and you're gonna sell it and you're gonna make money off of that. The Joker
yeah.
said, "If you're good at something, never do it for free."
Oh, best quote ever. So anyways, Jackson said that the day I was like, okay, what can I do to get more black people outdoors? What? Like,
This in itself is racist.
yeah, and
You're
and I
saying there's
thought,
no black people outdoors being stuff, dude. You gotta move to the Midwest or something. Like
like,
everybody goes outside because especially
there's
in the
no one
summertime.
outdoors, Cyber. We're in the
No,
middle of
no,
the
no, 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 no,
pandemic.
yeah, there is. Shut up. I'm going to tell you why. You go in the middle of the summer, not this year, obviously, because you won't see it, and you'll see everyone outside. You don't know why? Because we were tired of being locked in the fucking cold for 6 goddamn months. Yes, there are no
Lemon
mosquitoes,
pie.
but we want to be outside.
Lemon Pie's hilarious. He goes, I thought minorities are afraid to be out in the woods with white people. Yeah, that's a
No,
good
they're just
point.
everyone's just smart enough not to go out in the woods because they watched Friday the 13th.
Yeah, you seen any horror movie? Let me tell you, this is
Yeah, yeah,
why I
yeah.
don't like
You
camping.
don't want the fucking woods. You hear anything fucking strange in those goddamn woods, you're like, all right, let's go. I'm serious.
And
Anyone here been out sitting in the woods and you just hear weird shit out there and you don't even know what the fuck it is? Because I have.
but
And
yeah,
you
I
won't
mean,
hear it during the daytime. You hear it at night.
but this article gets better, Husky. Trust me, this article gets better. So, uh, he decided that he was going to sell these kits and the kits sound pretty cool. They include 2 sleeping bags, a tent, and a cooler, which is like that's got to be like a couple hundred right there,
All right.
because
All right. You
tents are
say what? So
expensive.
what did you say? Tent and a cooler and what else?
And 2 sleeping bags.
All right. I want to do some stuff. I'm going to mute so you don't hear it.
Okay. So the post brought in close to 500, which combined with Jackson's savings paid for 5 camping kits for people who needed gear out in nature. Jackson initially purchased ready to go kits from REEI, which cost about 300 each.
What
The
did I say?
kits included,
REI 300 each. This shit's expensive, but it's good quality shit. It's
oh yeah,
expensive. I've been there
the
with my
kit,
buddy because he's a Boy Scout and sometimes he looks for stuff.
the
Everything's fucking
kits,
expensive. I'm like, I don't want to touch anything. I
the
can't
kits
afford this shit.
included really good tents and gear and stuff. Now, here's the interesting part. So, there's it says segregation on public lands. Camping is often called America's favorite outdoor activity. This summer, When many travel options have been eliminated, the go-to vacation has been camping or renting an RV and visiting public land. But camping and national parks have a complicated past when it comes to racial equality, because, of course, Los Angeles Times has to bring up the racial equality and equal access for all. National parks have a history of segregation that dates to
Right.
the
Share my screen.
1930s. The 1930s. That hold on. I don't see anything for it yet.
I have it up there.
I'm still messing around with this new layout. Let me see. Oh, okay. Here we go.
All right. So here's the Yetis. We'll give that a little bit of a zoom. And I'm saying Yetis because this is usually what you see at a camping store is a Yeti or the company's brand. But it's probably going to be Yeti, which is Yeti's is really overpriced. But yeah, these things aren't cheap. Here's the sleeping bags from REI. They're around $100. Tents. That's about a decent sized tent is about that much. Look at this one. This one. Oh yeah, that's hot. Look at that price tag.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What does that say? 2,000?
Yeah. I didn't
$2.
even notice this one when I pulled it up. I noticed this one, and then I just saw that one. I'm like, holy shit! Right?
That is some crazy pricing. I don't think I that much. But so they're bringing how the public lands used to have the segregation law. And look, the dates are from the 30s to the 60s. Why this is being brought up in this article, I have no earthly clue.
Hey, you know what happened during the 30s and the 60s?
Lots of pot.
Jim Crow laws.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I
if you're
mean,
getting your stats about stuff like that, yeah.
but here comes the best part. Okay, keep in mind this is supposed to be an article about camping, right? So Jackson goes on to talk about his personal experiences. He ran into bears, and he said, "My dad and I would almost always be on or be the only black people at any camp we went to." Now, after sending out the first few camping kits and getting positive responses from people who received them, Jackson decided to put it on his
Yeah,
Instagram.
man.
By
Positive
then,
feedback from people who got them, man. Oh, this expensive gear for free? Sweet.
now, here comes the BLM angle. So protests had swept the nation in the wake of the deaths of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor. Thousands of Americans took to the streets in outrage by the
Yada
continued
yada yada.
disregard.
Skip this part. Everyone knows.
Yeah. So then the donations for his camping gear went up. So he got a bunch of GoFundMe's to raise money for these camping kits. And then he talks about how he's partnered with Next Adventure. Next Adventure, I guess, is a place, because I'm skimming through this is a long ass article. So this adventure place had partnered up with him to help for funding for this little thing to get more people to go camping. And that's pretty much it. So my whole thing is this is an interesting article because of the fact that it's a really intriguing idea. You saw how much the camping kits were, and he paid for some of these out of his pocket and then got more people to donate to this. But after all that stuff went down, which we glazed over with the the George Floyd thing and all that, his donations went up because he's this black man who was asking for funding for camping gear to encourage camping, which honestly, out of all the things I've heard pitched, to be activities or donations or stuff like that, it's actually not a bad idea. Um, to get people out and about. And he's given away. We just looked it up, like
Hey,
camping gear.
this guy has this thing, but there's this other guy. There's this other guy. If I remember, it was something. It's like I read. This shit's also expensive because I saw in the news over the winter of this company that rents out skiing gear for people who don't always live by the slopes and come for tourists and stuff. So they rent that out. Somebody's going to do that with camping gear, make money. This guy is going to go under because that's what you got to do. You got to do a rental service, man. So you make money. You can keep putting it in. You can get newer stuff, but then you can keep getting money from people. And
So
then
but
you're going to
Cyber,
give shit. If I'm going to be honest, like I said again, you give me free camping gear. There's a lot of people that don't like going outside. And a lot of people don't like camping because there's fucking bears. Other
Oh
shit.
yeah. Forget
You
the
give
bears
me free
and
camping
the
gear.
mosquitoes.
You give me free
Ugh.
camping gear. I'm going to be grateful and take it and then say, see you off your way. I'm going to sell it for money.
So we'll
Here's
never
it-
see a
here's it.
husky camping out there.
No. And here's the other thing. My brother always told me this in a joking way, but also a serious way. He told me, if a stranger ever gives you drugs, take them because drugs are expensive. If someone gives you something fucking expensive, take it. It don't matter what it
Yeah,
is, you can hate it and just take it. It's expensive because in the end of the day, they're losing money.
but I mean, here's the thing. He got a big company to back this, and he's been passing out these gears.
Big company wants to make itself look better so then people buy its product.
Oh yeah,
How
without a
business
doubt.
works, people, by the way. I
I
think
mean,
people are like, oh, none of these are corrupt. I'm like, all of them are corrupt. All of them are corrupt. And they always play
well, I
this game, and
mean,
they play this game on politicians, and there's only
well, I
one
mean,
that knows how to play it back.
but here's the thing, though. You have a black man who's camping and who's promoting that other people within the black community do camping as well, and he's giving them gear or whatever. So I feel like the companies are like, hey,
No,
this will score us
what you
points.
said, and the thing you said that you don't think that enough of them do camping. I'm like, no, everybody's getting the fuck outside. It don't matter if it's camping or not. Everyone's getting the fuck outside in the Midwest.
I don't even think it's a matter
You
of,
just think they don't do it. That's because where is it? California? Yeah, because of the LA Times. It's freaking white as fuck in California.
not only that, but it's hot as fuck too.
Yeah, why the hell are you going outside? And like Midwest, oh, maybe the day's hot, but the nights are nice and cool and crisp.
Yeah,
You
I
don't have
think
to be
it's,
sweating your balls off. Like if you're over there in California, fucking hot day, hot night, fucking sweat my balls off because human sticky shit, dry heat, fucking. You don't want a blanket on. It's gonna suck. You want to go home.
oh,
Here,
without a doubt.
not so much. Not so much. You just got to find a day that's not hot and humid. And those days are
So
pretty easy to come by.
So I mean, I thought this was pretty hilarious because of what it was dealing with. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty clever idea as well. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big camper, neither is the girl. But these days, when you've been stuck in the house for so long, and the only time I got out was work, or like now we go to a restaurant or something, but theaters aren't open, malls aren't open, things that you would normally go to get out and about are still, doing whatever it is they do. Uh, so the only thing you can do is like go to Walmart and shit. So, I mean, going camping and things like that has gone up. Even people who don't give a shit about camping. So I think that this
Everything
is a
has
very
gone
smart
up.
time.
You know why? It's called price gouging.
Well, yeah, you got a bunch of people who've been stuck in their house.
And guess what price gouging is? If they catch you doing it, It's illegal in a lot of states. You can be punished
Oh,
for it.
oh yeah, but this
Started
guy,
happening with like a lot of the stuff when all this lockdown crap happened. A lot of people price gouged, and a lot of businesses were sued or shut down for a while because they did that.
yeah, I often wondered if the bigger company, I'm sure the bigger companies did that, but they never get called out on that shit.
No, they were. I'm telling you, they were. I fucking read articles on this. They got caught.
But I mean,
Big mass companies that make billions is not. No, it's mainly the. It was not like the companies as a whole. It was individual stores that were doing it.
which is just sad, just a shame, but money's money. There is something I want to talk about. You brought it up a little bit ahead of time, but I wanted to swing back about it. This new series coming on HBO, right? And I have a favorite writer. I want to give some context. I love H.P. Lovecraft. One of my favorite writers, made some really fucked up stories. I love his work. Um, Arguably up there with great horror. A lot of stuff that you've seen with like creatures and things like that originate from his stories. If any of you guys have ever seen Underwater,
Cthulhu.
there's
Cthulhu. Everyone here's heard of Cthulhu. Yeah, he made
yeah,
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu was his idea. Well, there's a new series, and when I first saw this series, I thought it was going to be centered around the story, the stories of H.P. Lovecraft, even the way they do the design. But I was misled. And before you guys get excited about this, or if anyone's interested, I want to read an article about exactly where this story is going to go. And it's interesting because it's on HBO, and I should have known. HBO is really fucking political, and I should have known that it was going to be turned into a statement. So I'm gonna read this new show is coming out. HP Lovecraft. It's called Lovecraft Country, and the headline reads: H.P. Lovecraft was a uh, racist, and how Lovecraft Country deals with his legacy. Wow, like I didn't know much about that. I knew the time period that he lived in probably weren't for that, but his stories had nothing really to do with anything like that. Most of his was about man's greed and vanity and things like that. Um, so I'm going to read the synopsis, and I don't know how this is going to play into the science fiction world that he created, but in the new HBO series Lovecraft Country, a young Black Korean war veteran named Atticus uh, explains why he loves the sci-fi novel Princess of Mars, even though its protagonist is a Confederate soldier. Stories are like people. Uh,
Wait. They're going to make a big deal out of this because it's a Confederate soldier, is it? That as soon as you said that.
yep.
Okay.
Um, the tensions at the heart of Lovecraft Country, which follows Tick, his uncle George, and childhood friend Loletta, and other family members as they encounter monstrous racists as well as literal monsters
Hey man,
in the
I'm telling you something. Not everyone in the Confederate Army was fucking racist. There's a lot of
yeah.
racists in the Union Army.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. So it gets better.
It's
In the
it's
early,
better.
no, it doesn't. In the
Does
early
it?
civil,
They don't. I
so
bet they don't even know the difference between the stars and bars and what everyone calls the Confederate flag.
no, I don't think they care. The drama is primarily
I'll
set
tell
in the
you the
north.
difference. One of them's the actual Confederate flag. The other one's not.
The drama is primarily set in the north, a region that was technically integrated, but where discriminatory housing policies, sundown laws, and the specter of violent intimidation met that de facto segregation was widespread, and like Get Out uses horror to confront deeply rooted bias in all culture or corners of American society. The high-profile series is based on a novel by Matt Ruff that boasts big names and executive producers, including Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams,
Oh,
of
there it
course.
is. There it is. There it is. The two races.
And it brought renewed attention to the legacy of H.P. Lovecraft, the 20th century, as a virulent, racist, white supremacist, and anti-Semite who dread-soaked writing is animated by fear of the other. The
Hey,
influence.
do they acknowledge that the Union raped?
No, this is just
Oh
n-
no. Okay, just check.
no,
It happened.
this is just about Lovecraft. His influence in horror fan culture is huge, said showrunner Misha Green in a recent Q&A released by HBO, and you can definitely tell he was racist from his works. It's hard to miss those troubling themes. Here's a look at Lovecraft's legacy and how it presented day fans are grappling with his racism.
Because he entered a character that was a Confederate.
Yeah. Let me see. This is about where Lovecraft came from. Okay, why is he such a big deal? He created a genre known as cosmic horror and terror. And this just goes into
And
some
there's
of
actual
the works
cultists
that
that
he did.
believe in it.
Yeah, no. Okay, here we go. Was he racist? Yes, very. Even by the intolerant standards of his era. Lovecraft's bigotry is most evident in his venomous correspondence. He wrote somewhere between 10,000 and 100,000 letters in his lifetime, according to Kangler. In his letters, he candidly expressed contempt for Jews, blacks, people of non-white immigrants, and voiced overwhelming fears of miscon. I don't even know what that word is. He praised Southerners for resorting to extra legal measures and their efforts to keep races separate. Anything is better than marginalization, which would mean hopeless deterioration of our great nation. But Lovecraft's racist views are also easy to discern in his creative writing. He wrote a poem on the creation um, of a particular word, which imagines black people as beasts wrought by gods in semi-human figure filled with vice. Even Lovecraft's most commented apologists have struggled to defend the horror at Red Hook, a short story about an Irish detective investigating a sinister devil worshipping cult of immigrants on Brooklyn's waterfront, in which he uses explicitly racist language. Let me see. For many decades after
Does it give
Lovecraft's
an
death,
example?
no.
No, because
There's
he has a lot of made up words and names and stuff, so they could probably take this and say, "Oh, that means this," and they'd be like, "No." Like, the same
no.
people that think orcs and aliens are all black for some reason, which I think is fucking racist.
So, should Lovecraft be canceled? Part
No,
of what
he's
makes
dead.
I know he's dead. He's been permanently canceled. Like, really? He would okay.
You're going to shit on someone's grave? Man,
Like,
these people still haven't mentioned the founder of Coca-Cola, who was a Confederate.
hold on a second. I want to just welcome Jamie Vick. Welcome. Now, look, Lovecraft may have wrote stories about that stuff, and look, it was the 19th century, 16th century, whenever he was alive.
Let me
That
look quick.
yeah, let's get some fact checks on there because
Let's get.
you know,
Let's see. How old was he? He was born in 1890, died in 1937.
so you're talking about the 1800s to the 1900s, about right? I
Yeah,
mean, totally different era. And like,
Providence, Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island.
and here's the thing: why do we need a show that focuses on doing Lovecraft's legacy and putting a spin on it and acknowledging all this racism? Why do we need this stuff now? Why, like HBO is the biggest pandering bunch of
It's
assholes.
because they're
I hate
owned.
HBO so much.
It's because they're owned by. Oh no, wait, no, they're not. I don't know. They're a bunch of dicks. I was going to
I
say they're
mean,
owned by Viacom. I'm like, wait, no, they're not, because Warner Brothers owns them. Ooh, wait,
HBO.
wait. No, yes, AT&T owns them. Nope, Comcast owns them. There we go. Comcast owns them, and AT&T owns all of them. There we go.
Uh,
Wait.
I mean,
Oh wait. No. No.
HBO.
No. Wait. No. I fucked that up. I'm tired.
H-
I'm getting confused. Who owns the fuck who? There's been a bunch of mergers in the past 5 years or so I've been alive, and everything's getting confusing now.
it's hard to tell who owns what except for Disney. Disney owns everything.
Okay, HBO is owned by like Warner and AT&T. That's safe. That's safe. No Xfinity, because Xfinity is their competitor. Xfinity
but
owns Universal. That's what I'm. Okay.
but here's the thing, Cyber. I failed to realize here, like there's supposed to be horror elements and monster elements, but it mostly focuses on racism. Why name the show Lovecraft Country if it has nothing to do with H.P. Lovecraft except for maybe having a couple of his creatures, and it's putting a spin on his story? And I mean, for what purposes exactly? I mean, we got to deal with, you realize we got to deal with like 50 more shows or so that are going to be coming out
Uh,
talking this shit nonstop.
and I know, if I know much about HP, because I don't know him a lot. He wrote about cults and stuff, and how the cults viewed the world through their eyes. What you explained, I'm still trying to figure out if they took that out of context of some cult member
I,
speaking about
I think they're
why
mostly,
they
I
were.
think they're mostly talking about his work in general. There's
Well, no,
some
no, no. But
things.
there's that, the thing, the quote of why blacks are here, all this and this and that. I'm like hearing, I'm like, can I get the full context of this? Because he had
Yeah,
cult, he had view in his stories for like each of the monsters, and also they had views on the world. And they do these rituals and shit. I
I
remember,
mean,
because I know I don't really shit, but I know his stuff is weird. And he has a lot of cults and stuff in his books. That's
I
why I
mean,
need the full context of that shit.
but here's the thing, though. Most of his stories were about man in general, not, and it had really nothing to do with just race or creed. It was about people in general and their greed and their avarice and
And it's
humanity's
funny, it's being made by people with a lot of pride,
greed.
ego, and greed.
The irony is not
So
lost on
if
me.
he was alive, he'd actually be hating that they're making these movies for money, profit, greed.
It's just ridiculous because this is just another show in a slew of shows that are going to come out. I have no doubt. We talked about the Fresh Prince reboot. That's not a coincidence that it's getting rebooted now. Where they just feel the need to bring up all of this racism and everything else, and that we need to make an awareness about racism since the fucking 1900s. What does that have to do with today? Uh, I fail to see the connection or the relevance of uh, smudging someone's name when they've been dead for about a century or so. Like, I don't see why that's your target of anger. I mean, I could deal with them even doing a new writer that may have said something, you know what I mean? Or making it an allegory for a new writer. But now they're setting this show back in the day, and they're using his works, but they're shitting all over his name. I mean, is that not the dumbest fucking concept? Uh, Like, how does that work? So you're gonna use his creatures, but you're gonna call him a shitty person. And oh, he's so terrible. But the whole premise of our show is based on a story that he essentially wrote.
I don't know, man. If they're gonna get mad about him, when are they gonna cancel the Confederate that founded the Confederate and addict that founded Coca-Cola?
Coke won't get canceled.
No, they won't because they control all these ponds.
It's just it's so ridiculous. It's called for you guys who are just tuning in, we're talking about Lovecraft Country that's coming on HBO. Um, it's one of those shows again that's going to be it has horror elements, but it's going to talk about the racism back in the day. Look, a lot of shows have been doing this. I'm doing a review on the Umbrella Academy season 2. They even had something in there that they threw in. Granted, it fit with the story, but I could tell it was very purposely put into the show, given what's going on now. The storyline doesn't exist in the comics. It was specifically put in for the show. I didn't get too mad because the fucking writing on that show is fantastic, but I mean, it's gonna be something we're gonna have to deal
There's
with.
like the Call of Cthulhu game, and I've heard some people that was pretty good, creepy game.
Yeah,
No,
there's been hundreds of games.
have you played the Call of Cthulhu game? You a big Lovecraft fan?
Yeah, I have actually. That game scared the shit out of me as a
Yeah, I
kid.
didn't want to play that. Like, they did a great job on the advertisement, making it like, "Ooh, it's mysterious and cool. Come play it." I'm like, "No, you're going to scare the shit out of me, you lying bastards."
Yeah,
So I stayed away from it.
yeah, it was a
That was a eerie fucking game. There's cultists.
well, I mean, here's the thing, Cyber. Horror movies have always been an allegory for different things going on in the world, and I understand that. But I hate when creators and these magazines and articles come out and they make it purely about the person. They shit on the person's legacy.
You know what the life lesson about Frankenstein is? Because the person, when she made the book, it's kind of the premise as a life lesson is the monster is pretty much harmless, but he gets aggravated because they are scared of him and they go after him.
Oh, hold on a second. Welcome, Meow Cat. And then they say, I'm sorry, I haven't been highlighting these comments. I'm missing PB, lazy bastard. If you can hear me, that's right. Come and get me. Anyways, Meow Cat says, I'm really tired about hearing about racism, and I agree. This is just getting ridiculous because it seems like every show, every movie has to have some kind of subplot that feels like it's just in there just to throw up what's going on. It's like, look, we watch television, we watch movies, we watch entertainment to get away from that shit. No one wants to turn on a show and be reminded about what's going on right now. No one.
I'm actually fine if you talk about racism, but in America, it's so minor. It can be pretty much solved civilly. If you want to go to racism, you start showing me the shit that's happening in the Middle East, South Africa, and India with their caste system, and China because they fucking hate anyone that isn't Chinese.
I mean, yeah.
Remember, they blamed people in China and told their people what the actual cause was. Not the actual cause, what they said the actual cause was. Which, so what? we all here know what it's caused. They said it was like a bat. It came from a bat. Now, what they did and told their citizens for put out there is that it was the blacks. And then when their stuff was getting really, really high in China, they kicked out all journalists and stuff, so you couldn't hear more of these stories and stuff after that. And then what happened? I'm going to tell you what happened in China. They killed, because you can find these videos. They lit people on fire in the middle of the street. That's why they kicked out journalists.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
And
were
stuff.
they were
They're
attacking animals and all sorts of
They're
stuff over
killing
there.
people. They're lighting them on fire. Why were their numbers so low? Because they stopped reporting their numbers because they just killed anyone who coughed. Notice how Korea doesn't have any numbers? Probably because they've killed anyone too.
What up, Shadow Man? Good to see you. He says the government should just remove race labels altogether from all documents. American citizens are just American, not African American, Latino American, Asian American, just American. I agree. We are all just American. Like the fact that these shows and everything
We
have
all
to.
bleed red, white, and blue, or do you guys bleed red and yellow?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's
I'm
getting
serious.
staggering.
If you're willing to fight and die for this country to protect it, I see you
Hey,
as an American.
yeah, I mean, I served my country proudly, and when I see this shit, it really upsets me that, I went to various places and did what I did. And I didn't want any fucking praise or glory. It wasn't about that. It was about just keeping people safe, and I believe in what we're doing. But then you come back and you hear these people talking about how bad everything is and how people are so racist and all this and that. And I'm like, take a trip outside the fucking US and then you tell me how bad we have it here.
The world is
It's
a
staggering.
terrible place outside of the U.S.
And Shadow
And
Man,
you know how many stories you get where they put bombs and strap it to the woman because you won't because of their religious beliefs that you're not supposed to touch the woman or investigate them like that. Yeah, they'll strap them there and they'll blow themselves up.
oh, and Shadow Man, thank you for my service. He
Believing
says he was a United States Marine Corps veteran, 4 years active duty, Navy. So you probably rode my boat. I'm
we
just
all know
joking.
each other. Members of the armed forces hate each other and love each other. I
But
mean,
no,
that's something if you had any family member or friend that served.
but I mean,
But if you
it's
kill
it's
any one of them, you anger the rest.
but I want to swing back to the topic here. I'm not going to watch Lovecraft Country. I had an interest in it until I started reading these articles, and I'm not going to endorse anything that is going to keep this bullshit that we've been hearing about for well over a year now. Uh, because this what started 2019, and we're in 2020 right now. Cyber, this whole thing. Would you say about 2019?
Yeah, somewhat.
Going into 2020.
I remember, like in 2019, when we read an article of why Jordan Peele will never have white people as the main characters.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Um, and the sad part is, this whole divide is getting worse, and these shows aren't helping like they imagine they're doing. They're just creating a bigger gap. They're highlighting racism instead of trying. Look, if you want to get past this racism that you're pointing out, then highlighting it is not the way to
You
get
know what
past it.
Morgan Freeman's solution was?
What was that?
Stop talking about it. Stop
Exactly. I
seeing each other.
100% agree.
Stop seeing these people and separating these people into these groups. See them as who they are, which is what Martin Luther King wanted too. He wanted people to see each other who they are. And these people would preach Martin Luther King like you're doing the opposite. You're still seeing people for these colors. You're seeing people as white and black. He doesn't want you to see them as white and black. He wants to see what they're made up of. Are they a good person? Will they help you up when you've fallen down? Or will they kick you?
Cyber, I just want you to know you have inspired me for the night. That was very moving.
Yeah.
Oh man. So let me switch gears. Let me just ask you a question. Shia LaBeouf, right? Transformers.
Yeah, man, he was in all the good Transformer movies beside Bumblebee.
Yeah, yeah. And he had a rough bout, but then he's making a comeback. He did Honey Boy. He did Peanut Butter Falcon, which was great movies. If you didn't see them, they're excellent. Well, there's some big news, and I want you to tell me what you think about this because I think this would be great casting. Keep in mind, folks, this is just a rumor, nothing official yet, but Shia LaBeouf is reportedly Marvel's next Iceman for they're bringing in the X-Men, and he has been in talks to take the role in the new upcoming X-Men introductions are going to do. So Shia LaBeouf seems to be staging a pretty big comeback after a 2-year hiatus. The actor shot to a
Your hiatus, we haven't seen him in a long time. What are you talking about?
no, it was only 2 years before he came out with some movies. It was like he was big and he was still big in like 2017. But the Peanut Butter Falcon and Honey Boy came out in 2019 and shot him to critical acclaim. And now Marvel is supposedly hot to work with him in a cool new role. According to We Got This Covered, so like I said, it's a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt because you know how accurate We Got This Covered is. The same site that correctly reported the first to report the She-Hulk coming out. Yeah, they get shit right every now and again. Marvel is hoping to land Shia LaBeouf to
Dude,
play
I
Ice.
get skeptical with anyone that says, "Oh, I got a Marvel information." God, it was. I don't know if anyone paid attention to all these Marvel type channels. It was
Yeah,
so the line between speculation and actual, uh, you know, what they actually were doing got so fucking blurred around Infinity War and Endgame. I just had to stop watching anything comic related. So then all that shit got on my feet because it was annoying.
so according to a couple of reports, uh, previously the MCU was considering him first for Moon Knight, but
Oh, I just missed out.
but LaBeouf is still running for he's still running for that role, but the powers to be supposedly are more interested to take him on as an X-Men character and considering LaBeouf's previous criticism with doing big budget studio films,
No,
this could be a nice way
I
for
want
him
him
to
to be
ease
Moon
back in.
Knight. I want him to be
What's that?
Moon Knight. I want him to be Moon Knight. They said Moon Knight, and
Oh,
now I want him to be Moon Knight.
oh, I totally would love uh to see him as Moon Knight. I think he would be a great cast. Um, so let me see. I'm just gonna skip down here. As for Iceman, the character has been played notably before, including Canadian actor Sean Ashmore, who did an awesome job. I love him, so underrated. Who fronted him in many big screen offerings and voiced him in the superhero squad show. The character is one of the founding members of the X-Men and has the ability to freeze water vapors. Uh, on the Marvel side of this potential casting, is worth noting the MCU actually has a lot riding on the upcoming X-Men revival than you think. Back in the 1990s, Marvel sold off the rights to the characters in order to avoid bankruptcy, but now Disney brought 20th Century Fox for 71.3 billion. MCU finally has the chance to make the movies on their own terms. That has some fans believing that the studio and the actor both are looking to reinvent themselves, and this could be a match made in heaven. So, yeah, what do you guys think about that?
I had to step off quick, so I missed the ending. Not
Yeah,
I want them. I
I
want the
don't
Moon
know.
Knight.
I
I
see
want
him.
Moon Knight LaBeouf.
Yeah, I agree. I see him more as a Moon Knight, especially with the way he is now. Iceman is sort of a clean character. Sean Ashmore fit him well because of that clean cut look. Uh, Shia LaBeouf these days has like tattoos, and
He got
he's got the
tattoos, a beard.
goatee.
Nah, yeah.
I see him
Like,
more as like a rugged character.
you gotta find someone like Chris Evans to play like Iceman and those clean cut characters.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think he would be more suited for a more rougher, tough kind of character, especially with I know you haven't seen his new movies, but with the new kind of image he's given himself.
I know what his
Uh,
image is. I've seen the Just Do It video.
oh, oh shit, I was drinking something. I almost spit that out. Yeah, I agree. I think that I could totally see him as a Moon Knight. But he's got good acting chops. It'd be interesting to see if he cleaned up for the role of Iceman, but still, he's got like tattoos now and stuff. I don't know really what Marvel is going for as far as like, no one knows what their X-Men are going to be. My main focus is Wolverine because I don't know who's going to follow up Hugh Jackman. That is going to be a nightmare to
Yeah,
try to cast
that's
someone.
all you got to do for the like if you're trying to keep the if you're trying to keep the younger actors, is you got to keep Michael Fassbender as Magneto.
Oh, I would definitely, I
There's
would
so
keep him.
many people on that. So many people that want that because he plays such a good Magneto for being young. You just want him. I'm like, yeah, I want him too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you could keep Michael Fassbender. I think they should keep James McAvoy. That would be crazy. He played such a good Charles Xavier.
Yeah,
I don't know
those are
why they get rid of him.
of those early ones. Those are the two best casted for those roles.
Oh,
Out of
without a
that,
doubt. Like that was amazing cast. Like Days of Future Past was arguably like X2 is my favorite out of the X-Men, but Days of Future Past is probably like close to number one for me.
some
So, I
people
mean,
get salty about that because it was Kitty Pride and like, oh, they're just shoehorned Wolverine again. But I'm like, yeah, but if you've watched the movies, you don't really have really much of a link with Kitty Pride because it
no,
didn't build
there's
up.
not
You
much
have
you
a
can
more
do with her
emotional
character.
attachment to fucking Wolverine. That's why you guys cried at the end of Logan.
Oh yeah, don't even get me anyways. Um, my biggest concerns are not these little X-Men, like these little, like I'm concerned about the main ones. Like you got Magneto, you have Magneto, you have Xavier, and you have Wolverine. Those are going to be the big ones that everyone is looking at, and I'm really interested to see how Marvel is going to cast them. Now, Kevin is a mad scientist, and he's done some really great work. I mean, you can't take that away from him. He knows how to pick actors, or he knows how to get the people to pick actors. So it's going to be really interesting. I think Shia LaBeouf would be uh, great in the Marvel Cinematic
And
Universe.
speaking of that, who do you think would make a great Doctor Doom?
Oof, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a, this might sound crazy. But I go Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's a really great actor.
Yeah, but
Uh,
if they ever, because I have a weird feeling that they're going to do some point, them and Sony will do a tie-in, so then he would be
he would be
Eddie.
Venom, so
Yeah, so
so yeah, I mean,
I just have
that's
a
just
weird
who comes to
feeling that
mind.
they're going to do that. We need some, actually, for someone with Doctor Doom, you need someone that has really good looks, because Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom, he was a very good-looking person, and he was very vain. So if you're trying to cast somebody like that, find somebody who has very good looks.
You could even
And
do, and I
then
know
you have to
most
hide him
people won't
behind a
like
mask
this.
because of his scar.
I know most people won't like this because I don't know why they hate this actor so much. He's actually come a really long way, but I'd even do like a Zac Efron if you're talking looks. And he is pretty decent actor these
I
days.
think people hate him because of High School Musical. And all
Yeah,
of
I
his
mean,
teen
I
flicks
judge
he
him
did
off
in
his
his
new
early
stuff.
careers. All those teen flicks he did in his early careers. But after that, he was in pretty decent movies.
Yeah,
And a
so I
couple
mean,
of
I
good.
I mean, but the problem is you need someone with good looks, but also someone who has a menacing presence as well,
Yeah,
who could pull off
who can
menacing.
pull up the menacing presence once he's behind the suit.
Yeah, and that's gonna be where the
And
tough
he
choice.
has a powerful voice.
Most of the stuff they got planned is gonna be interesting to see who they're going to cast for the roles. But when you think about it, everyone they picked, besides Robert Downey Jr. for the original Avengers, virtually weren't doing anything. Chris Evans was in movies that didn't do very well until he became Captain America. Hemsworth had done small roles here and there until he did Thor. Um, what's his name is uh, from Guardians. What's his name? Chris Pratt. Pratt
Chris
originally
Pratt
was
was
in.
only in comedies, and he said he would never play a superhero because he doesn't have the superhero bod.
Yep. And then look at him. He became one of the most beloved character. Everyone loves Star-Lord. So I
Except
mean,
his own kids. That's what no. Have you seen the picture of what his kid's favorite superhero is? The kid's wearing. He's
no,
like with his kid, and what his kid's wearing a shirt with a Captain America shield on it.
of course, everyone loves Cap. I love Cap. Cap's my favorite Marvel hero.
Yeah, man. Everyone loves
But
America's ass.
I want to get into sort of your field because you're very good with electronics. Going to switch gears here. I found this interesting. I don't particularly like this game, but there is a big dispute, and I fucking hate Apple. So
I
Apple
fucking
just
hate both of these sides. I'm trying to get away from my Apple device.
so Apple
They're
just
not
kicked
what they used to be, man. Steve's been
so,
dead for so long.
so Apple just kicked Fortnite off of the App Store. Uh, if you've been living under a rock, Fortnite for some strange reason is a really huge game. A lot of people play it. I tried. I don't want to be building shit while I'm shooting, so
I've
I could
tried
never get
these
into it.
battle royale games, man. All of them, there's all of them kind of same, and they all kind of get you in a team. Like if you're gonna get me in a game where I have to be the last one standing, I don't want to be in a goddamn team. I want to
And you
eliminate
got to
everyone
build
on the
shit on
field to
top
be
of
the
that.
last one standing. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't like it, but this is a little bit different because this dispute is this is a sort of Epic Games, who is the creator of Fortnite. They apparently broke the store's guidelines. So I'm going to read this article. Apple has removed Epic Games' Battle Royale game Fortnite from the App Store after the developer on Thursday implemented its own in-app payment system that bypasses Apple's standard $30 fee.
ooh.
Yeah, dude, this is some
Oh,
shady
you
shit.
don't
Like,
do that shit, man. Apple, they'll kill you. You're done. You're done,
so,
Epic. Or they're gonna buy you because they've been thinking of buying some video game company for a while now.
so the decision marks a significant escalation in the feud between Epic and one of the world's most dominant mobile software marketplaces, it comes at an especially fraught time for Apple as the iPhone maker navigates antitrust concerns over the operation in the App Store and the rules it imposes to certain developers. Following the removal of Epic's revealed a carefully calculated series of responses, including an antitrust law seeking to establish Apple's App Store as a monopoly, and a protest video that aired on YouTube and within Fortnite itself, mocking iPhone makers' iconic 1984 and calling on gaming fans to free Fortnite
I'm sorry.
by
I'm sorry. I'm
supporting.
sorry. I gotta stop mute. Twitter is stupid. If anyone's going on it right now, they're trying to cancel Genghis Khan. This is fucking stupid. Boy, let's cancel that guy who's been dead for 800 years and you're probably related to somehow.
So Apple said in a statement to The Verge that it plans to work with Epic to resolve these violations, but it has no intentions to create a special agreement for the company. There's a statement about it. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically they're telling Epic to go fuck themselves. Epic implemented its own payment system in the Android version of Fortnite as well, leading Google to take similar action to remove the game from the Play Store. Android users, however, can still download Fortnite using Epic's own app launcher, which it distributes independently through any mobile web page browser. The open Android ecosystem lets developers distribute apps through multiple app stores for
Yeah,
game developers.
and you need to. And then Apple monitors everything through their app store and only goes through their app store. So
Yeah,
then you decrease the risk of someone getting your phone. Which it can still happen with a malware on that phone, but that's their whole reason behind it. Is that's why you go through them, because you go through their thing and it puts it on your computer. The end. I've known that for
yeah.
years.
So now Apple is suing Epic Games, and this thing, uh, you know, um, this thing is a pretty huge thing because I don't have a problem with Epic Games. I do have a problem, as most mobile gaming, with the way that I hate in-app purchases. That's just for anything. I think it's a big fucking scam. I'm not one to talk. I've spent like fucking
Yeah,
$500 on Marvel Strike
but
Force. So I mean,
here's the fucking shit. Is this is gonna go to case, and it's either gonna be like Apple doesn't want to deal with more and buys Epic Games. They'll probably say, "Oh, we'll buy you, and we'll drop all the charges because we
they
own you."
can't. They can't. Epic Games
Yeah.
made more money than they did. In the article, Epic Games has made more money than any app on Apple's App Store.
No,
And right
but
now,
Apple has more money than them for past couple of years now. Apple has been saving up money on the side. Nobody knows what it's for, but they think they're going to make a big purchase. Several
yeah,
rumors
but they're
past
not
years.
going to be able
Hold
to
on.
buy Epic
Several
Games.
rumors in the past few years have been EA and them buying Disney.
Well, they sure as
They
shit
can
won't get
buy
Disney.
and sell any company right now they want to.
Yeah, but they probably won't. There'll be no way in the world of how they get Disney, because Disney's
Yeah, there will be.
20 times
Yeah, they will be.
20 times bigger
Do you
than
know
them.
why Disney was on that list? Because for it's like the 90s, there's been people, even now, there's been people who've worked for both companies on the highest positions on the boards of both sides.
I
So
mean,
no,
that's a fair
that's the
point.
reason
But
why they think that would happen for Disney. But I wouldn't be surprised if they bought Epic Games.
no, Epic Games, they
No,
can't buy them out. They're not a publicly traded company.
That
The
can
only
probably
way
be
they can
part of their
purchase
deal.
according to them, actually, Apple is in the hot seat because Apple is currently in the middle of two lawsuits. They're not going to try to
I know
purchase
they're
something.
part of all these fucking lawsuits. That's why
Yeah,
it's
so I
probably going to
mean,
work in
they get,
if this shit wasn't happening, Apple would buy them. All this shit's happening to Apple. Yeah, but
but
let's see what the fuck happens.
yeah, my
It's gonna
my
be
whole thing
interesting.
is I'm not a big fan of Fortnite, but I am a fan of a little company taking on a bigger company. Because I fucking hate Apple and I hate their business model. I hate the fact that their interface makes you buy everything, including music. Like you have to purchase things like through their app. I don't like the way their system runs. They're very money hungry. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't know how people use iPhones. Like you can't do anything without purchasing something.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you know, it's an
it's
interesting.
gonna be an interesting lawsuit how it pans out.
Yeah, now I'll
Well, the
be
thing is,
bringing more
the
news
courts
on
my whole. The thing is, we're going to have to see. Oh, what these two court cases, and then there's the epic one. Man,
it.
all these
It-
people are going to these companies that are being sued are going to have to collapse with
I
the
mean,
Apple,
you
Google,
can deal
Facebook.
with one or two lawsuits. Apple is dealing with like four right now.
Yeah, you're going to have to collapse. Maybe this is what they're saving up for. They knew they'd get their asses sued one day. So
It helps to have billions in your corner to pay for those high-powered lawyers.
I know.
I
And to
may need
pay
to
for the
then.
money in the civil suit, which is going to be a lot because they make a lot of money.
So, I did have some other news. This was interesting. This happened on the 12th of April, which I just found out about now. If you guys don't know, speaking of big companies, because we mentioned them, I can't go a day without talking about our favorite Disney. Disney removes the Fox Studio branding from two television companies. I fucking hate
Shock. I don't care. They
it.
took the
So,
Fox off of 20th Century and they took the Fox off of Searchlight to make them to return them back to Searchlight and 20th Century, which they were before Fox bought both of those companies.
so,
Start putting
yeah,
R-rated shit on one of those accounts. On those, you
yeah,
guys
they
only
really need to.
start making R-rated content. Don't even put the castle in it. Just say, yeah, here you go.
So, I mean, it's really intriguing because yeah, they got rid of the Fox part of it, and now they just have uh the 20th Century and Searchlight. And you know, this is this is just crazy. Like I don't understand what the
Oh, PB was asleep. He's in the chat now.
yep, 5 minutes he'll be on. Uh but I don't understand uh what like is Fox itself dead or does Fox have anything that still has its name in it?
No, man,
So Fox is
what if
basically
it
gone.
was all just a dream?
It's like I think that them still keeping that name would have been beneficial, especially for because now they have all these R-rated properties. If you guys don't know, they own some pretty big movies now, and you could do those and not have Disney tied into it. Like we know because we follow this shit that Disney brought them out and they're behind the scenes, but nobody else would know. They don't have the fucking Mickey Castle so I'm saying you could still have these people putting out R-rated movies and not be tied into Disney, but Disney has to fucking assert its dominance And now we got fucking just 20th Century and Spotlight Entertainment. It is so fun. It feels so fucking dumb. I don't understand what the game plan here is here, Cyber. Like, I don't understand why that makes a difference. Like they want to erase Fox's existence.
It was a dream.
I feel like we were in the fucking Matrix.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking exist.
And like, here's the thing. Deadpool is under that.
Yeah, it'll just be
Deadpool's
under
in
20th
limbo right
century. Just give us a Deadpool movie under 20th century.
I mean, it
Then
really
give me
is
my
an interesting.
Deadpool Spider-Man movie that I want, Disney.
Well, it
I want
really
my
does.
Deadpool Spider-Man movie.
It raises interesting questions about where these R-rated properties are going to go, or if they're still going to exist, or if they're going to stay fucking buried in a vault, like they do with their shit that they don't want to release.
Just finish it all and release it.
Well, I mean, because you still have Alien, Predator.
Yeah, man. And you'd have problems if you completely got rid of like Alien and Predator. Come on, put that stuff on Disney Plus. We all want to see Alien on Disney Plus.
Oh, you know
have
that
a
shit
kid
will never happen.
Why do you have a kids option on Disney Plus if you won't put something like Alien or Predator on there?
And this is,
so the kids don't see the animals fucking each other on National Geographic.
This is really interesting thing too, is that Disney suffers on their Disney Plus service because yes, they have a ton of content from their vault, but there's really no adult movies, and the shit they did have, they censored.
Give me my Terminator, my Alien, and my Predator on the fucking Disney Plus.
Like, I really feel like, first off, Amazon Prime is going to have most of this stuff because you can buy shit off Amazon. So Amazon.
Yeah, why would I pay more money? If it's on the streaming service that I'm paying for, it's awesome. I want to watch Predator, and then I want to watch Big Hero 6.
Cyber, give up that dream. We are not going to see Alien on the same fucking streaming service that has Big Hero 6. It ain't gonna happen. It would be cool, but I don't think we'd see anything like that.
I want it.
Well, I want $1 million, and I want fucking PB to be on time, but we're not gonna get those things.
Holy fucking shit, man! I was asleep. I was awake for 2 days, and then I slept for a whole bunch of hours. I didn't think that I was gonna be asleep, and then Andrea came in the room, and she woke me up, and she goes, "Are you fucking alive, guy?" And I sprung to life, and I was like, "What fucking time is it?" And she goes, "It's 1:30 in the morning." I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" She goes, "Yeah, why would I lie to you about that?" I was like, "I don't fucking know."
Should I have this name or say Disney has no balls to put Predator on?
Oh, I didn't read the name yet. Hold on.
Yeah, come on. It's just what I want. I want to watch Predator and then Big Hero 6. Come on.
I mean, I guess I like Alien more than I like Predator.
I just want to see Arnold killing and him with Predator and then Big Hero 6.
Well, I mean, Arnold's not going to be in it unless they're using CGI Arnold from...
No, I'm talking about the original
Terminator 3 or Terminator 4?
The original Predator on there, man.
He wants original Predator on the streaming service with all of their other content because they own Fox.
Then Big Hero 6.
I would just agree with what he said before. I want to see all them animals killing the fuck out of each other.
And I had to say, I'm like, what's the point of them having a kid's version of Disney Plus if they ain't going to push shit on the adult one? You could just give your kid the adult account. What is the kid version? It's just all the sex scenes on National Geographics are censored when they start humping each other. Cause I've known they hump each other. I've seen that shit on the regular TV.
Ah,
You see
So
it on that Animal Planet. You know they don't fucking cut that shit out. You're like, oh no, not bad for the kids. I watched fucking nature documentaries in school and they didn't even fucking censor that shit out.
all right, so hold on a second. I'm gonna do just a brief summary of the topics that we covered, which was most of them PB. But reboot to Fresh
yeah, I
Prince.
believe it.
What are your thoughts?
Nobody wants to see the fucking PC Prince of Bel-Air, especially if it's going to be a stupid fucking drama.
I was saying the same thing. I was like, I like when you look at that comedy, because I'm sure we both watched the same era of the great TGIF days, right? And those comedies still
The
had
Fresh Prince was on
serious moments.
TGIF?
No, I'm just saying it was around that era. You know, you had all of those shows.
Oh.
And you know, Fresh Prince is one of them staples. And I was talked about, like, it had drama in it. It was just mostly surrounded by comedy. And now they're doing the adverse and they're making it a drama, straight up drama with comedy elements. The only thing that intrigues me is Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are producers on the show, and they're bringing back the original writer of the Fresh Prince, just flipping it. So it's going to be more of a drama. So, I mean, that intrigues
everybody
me.
wants Will Smith in the show, too. He's supposed to be in front of the camera, not behind the camera.
Yeah, I mean, Cyber brought up a good point. Why not just make it like a couple of years after Fresh Prince? Like, you know, after the final, he's all grown up. He moved out of his Uncle Phil's. He's got his own place, you know, and he kind of essentially takes the role Uncle Phil had. You know, maybe he's got his own kids.
Right, so instead of being the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it'd be the Fresh King of LA or Bel-Air.
Yeah, you know, someone brought that up. Who was it? I think it was Lemify who said that. Like, do the Fresh King of LA.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it'd be better if it had, you know, where are they now type of thing. It worked for Fuller House, and then you know that court
everyone loves
lawsuit
Fuller
came out,
House.
so they wrote out that character. There was one IRL thing lawsuit, so they wrote out that one character, but it went well. There was the people of the original show liked it. I don't think the people of the fans of the original show will like it becoming a drama.
Oh, I wanted to just correct a previous statement. Not everybody likes Will Smith. Apparently, Jamie Vick hates Will Smith with the passion of 1,000 burning suns. I ad-libbed that, but
I mean,
right, who do you hate more, him or
he
his
had a special?
Right, who do you hate more? Who do you
He
hate
had
more,
an
him
hour-long.
or his cheating
go
wife?
ahead, Cyber.
Do you hate him or his cheating wife more?
I guess
If you hate him, do you hate him or his cheating wife more? Because his wife fucking cheating on him.
who would cheat on the Fresh Prince?
I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea what the Fresh Prince is packing. Maybe she needed more.
Yeah,
How many kids has she had? 3?
Yep.
Yeah, now you start doing testing. How many times has she done this shit to him? Cheated on him? I'm like, why would you cheat on Will Smith?
I have no idea.
He's an all-around nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty nice from what any interviews or I've never read articles about him being a dick. So, I mean, that's all I got to go on.
Yeah.
And then PB, we talked about a new series. Okay. I was swindled and hoodwinked and tricked into thinking this was going to be good. I should have had a warning because it was on HBO, but the other one we covered was H.P. Lovecraft. Great writer, does a lot of stuff with monsters.
The only good thing on
Um,
HBO was Chernobyl.
Yes, Husky, but we're staying on point here. They're coming out with Lovecraft Country, and it's going to be basically taking H.P. Lovecraft's original works, but putting an all-black cast and pointing out the racism behind his writing, and they're still going to mix creatures, supposedly, in the show. And the writers
Wait, what
listen to
creatures?
Cthulhu.
H.P.
You know Cthulhu?
Lovecraft.
He made that.
Cthulhu, big water creature.
Okay.
Prison Umbrella, which is in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, he dealt with a lot of cults
not too
and like
far
sea
away
monsters.
from the one island that's as far away from civilization.
But basically, they're turning it into a whole allegory for racism. Because we need more of those
so
shows.
that's gonna suck.
Yeah, and I had to look
Yep.
up the time he was born. He was born in 1890 and he died in 1937.
PB, the whole article was shitting. Yeah, the whole article was shitting on this man who's been dead for years.
Yeah, and then in the middle of the last article, I clicked over to the Twitter tab, and they're trying to fucking cancel Genghis Khan, man. This is stupid. That dude.
How the fuck do you cancel somebody that died like 1,000 years ago that fucked his way across Asia and we're all fucking related to him?
Yeah. How do you cancel your ancestor? This fucking like the person probably like you do a blood test, do like a DNA test, you're probably related to him.
I mean, he was the world's first pimp.
I would say he was the world's first player.
He like woke up the next morning and he's like, well, I've got to go conquer a village, bitch, so hit the brakes.
You know why? Because his empire was nice. When they took over an area, they didn't force you into a different religion. They let you keep your current religion.
Hey, I'm not going to force you into my religion, but I am going to kill you in the next 12 hours.
Hey man, we're in charge. That's what happened. History is like, yeah, we're pretty much in charge of you now. Just don't go against us. We don't expect, because they didn't expect you to understand their religion, because you had to be from where they're from to understand it. And that's why they're like, that's why they said, just keep your religion. You're just under our rule now. Just obey our rules and you'll be fine. People are like, okay.
Works for me, as long as my head isn't on a fucking pike.
Okay, what's the next one I missed?
And Fortnite versus Apple. They're suing.
Fortnite is for girls. Fuck that shit.
I normally say that, but Apple's is douchebags too, so I'd say let the best company win.
Oh yeah, I don't hate Apple. I just hate their products. So take that whichever way you like.
It hasn't been the same since Steve died and Steve left, man. Both the Steves are gone. It's not what it used to be.
Yep.
Aha.
So now we're on the last.
No, yeah, they don't have anybody creative there like they used to.
No, I could go there and I could be creative and I could help them, but I don't want to go to California.
No, you're not a California dog.
No.
Okay, so you're pretty much caught up. We're gonna talk about the last article, and you came just.
Oh, good. We didn't get to the last one yet. Thank God I didn't miss that one. because I was just about to send out the tweet because, I finally made it here. And I seen what the last topic was. I was like, yay, I didn't miss that one.
Gina Carano called out by WWE's Sasha Banks. This has been interesting. So if you guys don't know, she's made some tweets. She's also apparently supports Trump. There's been a big hoopla about it. I personally think it's amazing. She's calling people out on stupid fucking statements. I see she has more balls than most people that I know on either side. So good for her. But let's see what Sasha Banks has to say, because I watch Total Divas. I don't like you, Sasha. I don't like you. You have a very bad attitude. Anyways, WWE's Sasha Banks called out the MMA legend who could kick her ass.
Wait,
that.
Yeah, there's a stage actor versus an actual killer.
Yeah. I wonder how that fight would play out. Anyways,
well, I want it. Come on, let's see it. And it can't be hosted by WWE because it'd be totally staged. And that's got to be hosted by the MMA. So then we know who would definitely.
Gina Carano would kill Sasha Banks. If you guys don't know what Sasha Banks looks like,
come on, let's build a fucking Coliseum and start gladiator fights again. Everybody wants it.
First off, welcome Jeffrey Turner, aka Mega Jetty 1. Hello. Anyways,
I mean, how many Coliseums do we got in America? You got the LA Coliseum. I don't remember how many other cities around have their stadium called the Coliseum, but we got at least one. And it holds like 100,000 people, so set that shit up, motherfuckers.
So WWE's Sasha Banks has called out MMA legend Gina Carano, who plays Cara Dune on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian. Banks took exception to a tweet by Carano, even though the actress referred to her as one of her favorites. Carano shared a tweet.
They always do. All those actors do that shit when they're upset with someone. You're one of my favorites.
But I hate you.
Fuck you. You're one of my favorites, but fuck you. Okay.
So she said, Carano shared a tweet from the WWE universe, which showed Banks being knocked out by Shayna Baszler and wrote, and I just like
Shayna.
Whatever. And I just like that I wanted to attend the first at WWE Universe event at Sasha Banks WWE, at QOS Blazer. Two of my favorites, Gina Carano. Well, Blazer appreciated the compliment and responded to one of my favorite Star Wars characters. Banks wasn't so flattered. The current Raw Women's Champion, who is also one half of the Women's Tag Team Champion, told Carano, and just like that, I want to whoop your ass too. You wouldn't last in my universe, but you're welcome to try.
You and your tag team buddy, man. You're staged. You're staged.
Whoa. Wait, who said they wouldn't last in which universe?
Sasha Banks said that Gina Carano wouldn't last in the WWE.
I find that hard to believe, considering she is a hot chick who's in shape, can whoop ass, and is charismatic. I think she'd do fine.
Look, and here's the thing: she's an MMA fighter. You know what happens in MMA? People lose appendages in the MMA.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that shit ain't no
when
joke.
you say it like that, it makes it sound like people are getting fucking castrated, guy.
Huh?
You know,
it happens. People lose ears, fingers, toes.
I
was talking about testicles.
You know, and maybe that'll happen one day too in MMA. We don't know, man. Maybe it has happened. They just haven't. I wouldn't talk about.
I feel like at some point in the past, somebody got a testicle busted, and they're like, okay, you're gonna have to remove this thing that exploded in my sack.
You get
You know,
scars and shit in the MMA. You know what you get in
okay,
the WWE? A chair hit on your head.
hey, to be fair, that shit really hurts. But anyways, um,
Oh
to
shit!
be
Fucking metal
this is
chair on your head.
okay, this is a funny little rivalry. I don't think this is like a serious thing, but if you guys don't know, Gina Carano has been under pressure lately, under fire from crazy Twitter people. She made some comments about how she supports the president and whatever. Some of them were that people were whining, and a lot of people took offense. She lost a lot of followers. I would like to see any of these people who are on fucking Twitter say half the shit they said to her on her Twitter feed to her face. Because let me tell you, not very many women in this world are imposing and scary to me. My mom being in the list of number one and ascending. She's on that list. Like I would not
Hey, man, you want to know
want
what
to
the
take this
no,
chick
no,
on.
you want someone that's scary? She's gone now because she passed us. But my grandma, she took on a Hell's Angel, man. This is not
Uh,
No, this is
I can
Hell's
Cypher,
Angel.
only
I don't know your
imagine what
grandmother
Grandma
personally.
Husky was like. My God, keeping
This
all
is
those
Hell's
pups in
Angels, and they're
line.
Hell's fucking Angels, man. Okay.
I mean, but I mean, here's the thing, though. I think that she is a very awesome person. She has a very good personality. Um, I mean,
I thought you
this
said
is
you didn't
more of
like
this.
Sasha Banks.
No, I was talking about Gina Carano. I can't stand Sasha
Oh, when
Banks.
you use pronouns like that after we're talking about old dogs that have passed on, I get confused.
But I think that this Twitter hate has been like coming from all angles, and they did a funny little thing. You could tell this is probably just a promo to get her over to the WWE. You know how they work. They want to turn this into money. But I think that it's just been ridiculous. Like so many people turned on one tweet. And keep in mind, like she was on a roll with the Mandalorian. People loved her character. Well, there was some criticism, but I liked her character. But anyways, um, PB,
There was a
would you
lot
like to?
more praise than there was criticism for her character.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You just got some of those weirdos. I won't mention any names. Ryan Kennel.
Well, when there's a show out there where you've never ever been introduced to these characters before, you don't know their past at all. We don't know how things are supposed to play out. And the first time that she runs across the Mandalorian, it's a stalemate, and then Baby Yoda drinks tea. Fantastic scene.
I'd like to point out something. Mega Jenny asked me how the dojo's doing. For all of you guys who don't know, it's a little bit of somber news. The pandemic, unfortunately, affected the dojo, and we had to close it down. Um, fuck Corona. What else can I say? I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's shitty for everybody
Yeah.
involved.
I mean, I had some great times. And look, I think the thing I miss the most is being able to instruct the kids in the future and kind of guide them through life on the right path, make sure they're doing the right things. But I'm not the only
Oh, the
business
thing that
running
I
around.
miss most was you falling asleep on the couch and your boss waking you up at 7 in the morning and you going, "Oh, what the hell's going on?"
Yeah. Oh, I had some fun nights there. Uh, the dojo will not be reopening. We are done. We financially took a really big hit. And I want to point out something. Everyone who owns a small business or anyone who's been affected by this financially, I really, I'm sorry about the hit you've probably taken, and if you've lost your business, I really feel
And
for you.
yeah, and we're not gonna be assholes like the celebrities out there and say we're all in this together like a bunch of socialists, but we can have sympathy and empathy for people that have been affected by it because not everybody's been affected. Like, are you telling me that all these rich ass celebrities are like, oh man, life's so terrible here in my mansion? I had somebody come and set up my 4 cameras so I could start my YouTube channel. Way to go, Bree.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Everyone knows what Guy Fieri did, right? He started that fund to try to
I do
keep
not.
most of. He started this fund. He got like, was it 20 million something to help
Damn.
restaurants stay alive. Motley Crue, as soon as this started happening, they started a fund to help crews, and a bunch of other bands started sharing that link. And it's just to pay the crews that help set up and tear down before and after shows because they make money when the band goes on tour.
Right. You're
Yeah, I
paying,
mean,
that's like, yeah, all of the roadies out there for all of the tours are doing absolutely nothing and are going, how the fuck am I going to feed my family?
And
um,
that's honestly one of the reasons why I think Motley Crue came back is to make sure their roadies
on a
get
bright
paid.
side, Jamie Vick says her husband is no longer working at home, so she don't have to hurt him. Good for her and her husband. So, glad to hear that.
Well,
I
speaking
was
of
re
stay-at-home things, if any teachers are advocating to I've been meaning to say this for any teachers advocating that they should be doing stay-at-home stuff for the kids and not coming to class. I'm like, leave your job right now, because one, you need as a teacher for that hands-on thing, and if you think they need to do school at home, then you're telling me like the thing like Connections Academy and Sylvan Learning is what should be teaching the kids, because those are computer schools.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
if
that.
you're pushing that teachers, no.
Well, from what I've heard,
Then you're telling me your job is pointless and a robot can do it better.
yeah, from what I've heard, there's going to be a lot of restrictions and stuff. Before we get ready to kind of end things, because I'm done with my articles for the night. I'll be coming back tomorrow with some news. But I want to say, everybody just be smart and stay safe. We're gonna have these stupid guidelines and restrictions, at least in my state. And I've had some cases in my factory, so everybody stay safe out there. Make
Just wash your
sure.
goddamn hands, you bastards.
Well,
All
I
Yeah,
this shit
wash
mean,
your
started because
hands.
nobody knew
what do you
fucking
mean by
basic
stay
hygiene.
safe? Like, some of us need to stay more safe than others because Sasha Banks will get her ass whooped by Gina Carano.
Oh yeah, yeah, Sasha, don't make that happen. Actually,
Gladiator
no,
fight,
make that
gladiator
happen. I
style.
hate
Come
I
on.
hate
I'm
Sasha. Make
not
that happen.
saying that Sasha Banks can't fight because I'm sure that she can, but she can't fight the way that Gina Carano can fight.
Gladiator style. Come on. Come
No,
on,
I've
let's do
seen.
it. Gladiator style.
Like, there's a difference between someone who can generally know how to fight and somebody else who's been trained as a champion fighter. Slight difference there.
Come on, come on. 2021, gladiator fights have returned. They get swords
Uh,
and shields and shit. Come on, let's do it.
Ooh, I mean, that could work because WWE's not making as much money as they used to, so maybe they need some gladiator fights.
They bring a real
oh
gladiator
God.
fight, actual fucking blood, and people are actually dying. Come
Okay, and on
on.
that note, now
This
that
is
I've
why I
reached
want to
my
make a time machine. I just want to go watch the gladiator fights in ancient Rome.
no, no, come on, Cyber, you're gonna get me canceled. No, I won't
Oh, they're gonna
unless I say.
cancel me. I want to watch that shit. Or that's just
No,
my
actually, I
Italian
won't get
side
canceled
speaking.
unless I say I like
Yeah, Husky's the one that's
Genghis.
gonna get you canceled. Yeah,
I've
no.
canceled
You know
myself
who's gonna
already,
get you
man.
fucking canceled? The bagel people.
Oh man, the bagel conglomerate. Don't mess with them. They are an angry bunch.
Yeah, man,
Oh
that's probably
man,
my
Yeah, you
somebody
Italian
would
side
died
think that they
speaking.
would be a lot more holy because, bagels, but no.
No, man, they took a big offense. I was like, well, most of my rage was at Sophie, but I go on tangents. That's just how it goes. But anyways, I'm gonna go down the line here, start wrapping things up.
I
Cause
gotta go get people's links.
so I'm gonna start first with cyber, cause yeah, I've been working 5 o'clock every day. I'm fucking tired. But let's go down the line
You're
here.
fucking tired. I mean, I was
You
tired
slept.
because I was
You
awake for
slept the
40.
day.
Yeah, I slept for like 12 fucking hours because I was awake for 48 hours.
You were awake for 52 hours.
What? 52?
Jesus.
How was I awake for 52 hours?
I thought the human body shut down after 50.
You had to be awake at 12 o'clock and you didn't go to bed till 3:30. 48, 49, 50, 51 and a
Okay,
half.
so I'm sorry to everybody in the chat. I wasn't awake for 48 hours. I was awake for 52 hours, and then I went to sleep.
This is the
And I
one
woke
time
up
I
and
have
was
to
told it was
excuse you.
1:30 in the morning, and I was fucking late, and I was like, God damn
it. Oh man. Anyways, and that's why we're an hour short, because we didn't have PB's commentary. Because we're
Yeah, I
just about
mean,
to do it.
thanks for holding it together, you two.
Oh no. Me and Cyber
I'll
had
have
it.
to go back and
Signal
listen to the first hour and a half or so.
Yeah, me and Cyber had some really good banter. He brought up some great points. So, Husky holding it down.
Thank you, I appreciate it. No, that's
Yeah,
why I
I
had
think
to change my name to Late as Fuck instead of #1 co-host or #1 ginger bigot or #1 something. I mean, I guess I could have put #1 Late as Fuck, but no.
So, Cyber, what do you got going on your channel?
I got shit posts basically. If I that's how I'm describing them.
Nice.
Funny, stupid videos. I don't want to explain them because they're not that long, and if I just explain them, you don't need to watch the video. So just watch them, and then I'm doing streaming on my Twitch Tuesdays through Fridays. Sometimes Friday nights. I was going to do this night, but there was a storm, and I turned off a lot of my stuff, so in case a surge came through, nothing bad happened.
Yeah, so go support Cyber. His links are down below. Go check out his
Yeah, he
Twitch.
beat me to it.
Watch him rage. Yes, I did. I can't believe I'm on the ball. And the co-host, the commander, and the person who is occasionally on time, Pop Culture PB.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, that's true. I can be occasionally on time. I was early to Perp's frickin' birthday stream yesterday. Like he sent me the link an hour ahead of time, and I just sat there and I was like, okay. I ate some pizza rolls right before it started. It was supposed to start at like 10:10 or 10:15 or something like that. So I was like, okay, it's 2 minutes before it starts. Click the link, get in there. Nobody's in there again. I was like, how the fuck am I, of everybody on the planet Earth, the first person in this freaking StreamYard? I don't
And
understand. I'm so confused right now.
Perp never sent me a link. I gotta talk to Perp. I'm feeling a little hurt.
What do you? Oh, he didn't send you a link. Were you even
No.
awake?
Okay, that's a fair point.
We found out last night that the 10 limit that it now has is probably only for people who pay for Stream Yard.
Oh yeah, I pay for it, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, Jamie Vick, for saying that I was on time. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And yeah, you find me at Pop Culture PB. You can find me at Prophets of Geek Culture. I'm gonna do a review of Transformers War for Cybertron because you said you were gonna do one, and it never appeared, Guy. So I'm gonna do one here in the near future because I watched the whole thing. And
PB's
I
starting
did.
to steal
I did
the
a
channel
live stream.
from
that
you,
I'm not
man.
gonna spoil.
PB's
I
starting
did
to
a
steal
live
the
stream.
channel from you.
Yeah, you did a
my
Yeah,
live
when we
stream
started,
on
Zod
your
was doing all
channel.
the videos.
I'm going to do a review of it, and I'm gonna put it on Prophets of Geek Culture. And then I know for a fact that Jamie Vick is going to watch it within the first hour it's out. Guaranteed. She watches
I watch
all
it
the
within
reviews
the
that I
first
put out
minute.
on that channel.
A lot of times I watch them within the first few minutes, but I don't comment.
Aha.
Fair enough.
I get the notification. I click it, make sure I click the like button. If I'm doing something, I turn the volume down, face my phone straight down so I don't disturb anyone.
Oh, also, you should probably mention your excellent, which I actually watched, your excellent review on the final of Stargirl.
You watched the entire video?
I did, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh
Your
my
commentary
god,
was
it's
very
like
funny.
fucking I appreciate that. You have an idea how long it took me to make that fucking thumbnail? I mean, I guess it didn't take quite as long as it looks because all of the villains on the one side were one PNG, whereas all of the heroes on the other side were separate, so that was adding 5 of them
Oh,
and then figuring out all the other bullshit.
by the way,
But
for
yeah,
like reviews
it's
and
like
stuff.
38 minutes long.
By the way, for reviews and stuff, Shu was asking what you guys thought of Umbrella Academy, so I had to go onto your guys' pages and see who had reviews. Zod and Perp had them for like a year ago, so I tagged him with those. But that's what he's looking for. So if you guys put those on or something like that on the channel of like what it is now, maybe you'll
Yeah, I
get a little
plan
bit of
on
an
doing
audience.
because I did a review a year ago. I plan on doing a review on both seasons jointly because this second season is very much connected to the first. So
Okay. So
I feel like I gotta.
I watched both seasons already. So why don't we do something together and put it on the channel?
Yeah, because we don't really
Ooh,
have a lot of together videos.
That would
we
be
will.
And
interesting.
if you guys get a little bit of banter, people would actually get into that.
Yeah, we definitely got to figure that out. Yeah, I would like to do that.
You guys could
A
probably
little
do it
discussion.
through like a
I
Discord
can make
convo
a
on Hangouts or whatever.
pretty good thumbnail, I think, for something like that because I can imagine where Zod sits on the show, and I bet he has no idea where I sit on the show, and he'll be very surprised.
It'll be interesting because I am I got some opinions about it, but yeah, people would be surprised. Yeah, we should do that. I don't want to spoil my feelings on it. But yeah, so anyways,
And on and on the Prophets of Geek Culture, I'm the only person with the non-salty reaction to Halo Infinite's trailer. It'll be the nicest one you got, even though the audio is stronger than my mic, because I didn't know, because nobody was in my stream to tell me that it was louder. So I apologize for that.
But yeah, everybody go check out the Prophets of Geek Culture on my channel. We are going to do Fandom Zone News where General Dad will be on there tomorrow. We'll be talking about serious stuff. So it's not going to be a um there'll be some lighthearted jokes, but we're mostly going to be talking about Kamala Harris being the VP nod for Biden and how fucking unusual of a choice that is. And yeah, some other stuff, the shooting that
Guy,
happened.
I need you to send me the picture that you used for the thumbnail. Just the picture, only the picture with no text on it. Send me the picture and I will add the text to the picture and send it back to you because the words are a little hard to read.
Yeah, I always have a problem. You do better with the words than I than I do. But the picture wasn't that bad. I actually blended two of them.
No,
But
I love the picture and I like how the words are placed. So
yeah,
just send when we're done here. Send me the picture.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll do that. But join us because it's going to be more of a serious talk. It's not going to be so much political as much as talking about how weird it is, people's feelings. We've been getting some good hits on our Phantom Zone news. So if you guys want some serious news, some actual real good debating on it, and you guys want to see my father speak, which everyone likes to hear. So we'll be on tomorrow, 10 p.m. So join us. It'll only be about an hour, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the shooting incident near the White House. It wasn't really even remotely close, but we're going to be talking about that. And I forgot the other thing that's bringing up, but it'll be that tomorrow. And then me and Stevie J on Sunday will talk about the most underrated horror movie and our personal favorite, Wolf Creek. We're going to do probably a very spoiler review, but we're going to talk about how brilliant and underrated the film is. So, um, he's probably loves it because it's an Australian horror. So, but yeah. So that's pretty much it. Everybody who joined us, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I'm at 394. Spread the love. Let people know because I'd like to get to 500 very soon. So,
Hey, Zod's been locked
Yeah.
at 394 for a
Share
while, guys.
General
Get on there.
Zod's channel.
actually, I was locked at 390. I picked up 4 more subs. So, I appreciate everyone
Nice.
who's here. So, thank you. I appreciate everyone
I
who's
finally
enjoying
made
the
it to
content.
170. And now that I've said that, I'm going to lose like
Nice.
7 subscribers. 'Cause
and get Husky to 200. It's a nice even number.
yeah, but actually watch my stuff, man. Just don't sub and go like, yeah, and then jack off.
And on that note, everybody remember the only rule here in the Fandom Zone: kneel before General Zod.
Be on time, just like me.